So I recently made a video where I discussed, is it better to go all in on one ridiculous camera or just have multiple good cameras? And the feedback that I got from you guys was absolutely awesome. And so in today's video, I wanted to spend some time directly covering each of your comments because I think a lot of you dropped some truth bombs and also gave good pathways to what might fit your needs. So we're going to do all the comments coming up next. Let's go ahead and jump in. And this question comes from Newfound Mass. If you're a narrative filmmaker or a full-time DP, then investing in a high-end cinema camera makes sense. You'll get more work if you have a camera people want to shoot on. Absolute truth bombs, and I'll explain more here in just a second. The rest of the question or comment goes, for almost everything else though, having multiple cameras is absolutely the way to go. Almost any camera released in the last 10 years will give you a good enough image. You can put together kick-ass little multicam kits for very little money. Even if you don't think you'll need another camera, it's always better to have options in the edit. Huh. That is a hell of a comment. And the reason that I say that is he kind of gave, I want to say, the two pathways that you might be taking. Do you really want to go the commercial route? You want to shoot on high-end productions? Then a awesome cinema camera is going to probably be what you eventually need to invest in. But then he jumps into for almost everything else though. And I think that's where the vast majority of us that are probably watching this video fall. Second question, fantastic one. And I think this one, Chris Flores, he brings up something that a lot of us forget. So here's the comment. Definitely agree, depending on the things you're filming, multiple cameras often come in handy. Also want to add, buying an expensive camera might not always be the smartest choice because cameras have a lifespan. Lenses most often don't. Cha-ching! Get the best cameras you can afford, but investing in lenses is where it's at for me. Great video as always, bro. I forgot to thumbs that up. Chris makes a great point, and this is something that I think I'm kind of reaching this point in my video production career where I have good glass, I have great camera bodies, and I'm like on the fence. I'm like, do I buy a better camera? Do I buy a really expensive camera? But then, like he mentions, glass. Glass could take my current camera bodies to another level, and while they might be really expensive, as he mentions, glass is going to go with you forever. The next question actually comes from Instagram, and this is someone that I interact with quite a bit, Jeremy, and he kind of, I'm just going to read you his comment, and hopefully he's cool with this. I'm right there with you. I'm so tempted so often to just sell my Lumix stuff and grab an FX6, a Ursa Mini Pro 12K, or a Canon C70, and then grab a really nice native mount lens or two, but I haven't yet, and man do I want to at times. But there's a question you didn't ask in your video that is also a determining factor that I'm thinking through now. How long will 4K be sufficient? And he's right, I did not bring that up, and I think that is a great question to kind of propose to not only myself, but you guys out there. Carrying on, because that's a crapshoot, as everyone else looks towards attempting to future-proof their gear for the time being, 6K, 8K cameras like the Blackmagic 6K versions or the new 6K, basically summing up the S5 II that's got 6K, Canon R5, or the big boy Sony, make it extremely tempting to switch. I'm trying to think, what's going to last me for 5 years that I can afford to buy right now? I pre-ordered the GH5 when it was announced, and now used that thing nonstop. Amen, brother. Until I went the S5 route, and still have the GH5S, but I don't want to be limited by 4K. What he's bringing up is the 4K thing is something, and this is just my honest personal feedback. With my clients, a lot of them, like 1080 is what they've been used to. So when I deliver 4K for them, they're already kind of blown away with kind of like the image quality. Now, I know that Jeremy shoots for some hospitals and things of that nature. And as far as the tech side, they're probably a little bit more advanced than the kind of clients that I'm working with. Of course, I do work with some people that are a little bit more advanced. They want the high-end stuff. They definitely want 4K. But the conversations that I'm currently having with my clients are like 4K, of course they want that, but now it's like, how can they get 4K and also get like vertical style video? The idea of 6K is really something for me right now that is probably about 5 years out, maybe a little bit less, but it really just has to do with the amount of space. A lot of the projects that I do, I share the footage at the end of the project with the clients because they like to take it on and use it for some of their marketing purposes, fundraising aspects. So passing over 6K footage would be a nightmare for them to work with, whereas the 4K stuff, even sometimes when I shoot 10-bit, it makes it kind of difficult on their end of things. And I know a lot of you are probably like, ugh, you share your footage with your clients, but it's just something that, as far as relationship building goes with my clients, I pass it over. Hey, they pay me to film it. Of course, they don't get like all the messed up shots, things of that nature, but they get a lot of the vast majority of the B-roll and footage that I shoot. And so 4K, I think, is going to make you pretty bulletproof for a while. I don't also see a lot of platforms that a lot of people are consuming on wanting to even go above 4K just because of the amount of uploading and the amount of space it takes up. But I think Jeremy brings up a great point with the 4K, and then also him sharing his personal kind of experiences where gear, I mean, I am constantly thinking about it, and I've been doing this for 10 years and have a ton of gear and a ton of stuff that just sits and collects dust. So I kind of have to like retell myself over and over again, I don't need that. I can pull off my current project. The clients are already happy. What is that one particular thing really going to do? Or is it more just kind of like a personal thing? So I think all of us, I share his story because I deal with the exact same things. It's honestly like he took the words out of my mouth in explaining how I feel, especially when watching YouTube and watching other content creators. Our final comment comes from Ron. And I like Ron's comment because it's just truth bombs and someone just explaining exactly where they're at in their video production company. So here it is. Ron says, try shooting a wedding with 2 cameras, then shoot with 4, never going backwards. And I have to say that is so true because I have shot weddings with just my own gear, and I luckily have 3 cameras. But I team up with a good friend of mine, Jesse Anderson, in the past, and we would have actually 5 cameras. And boy, was that nice because, as Ron kind of says, when I would hop in the editing booth and we'd be doing like the ceremony and I have 4 or 5 angles, it was like a cakewalk because I was able to really kind of tell the wedding story, also having these intimate shots that I could kind of boom, 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 that kind of really sucked the viewer in. So from 2 to 4, I get you on that one. The peace of mind is worth it alone. I went through this phase also. Sell 2 cameras to get one $4,500 camera to wait. I can get 3 camera bodies for the same price. We are in the best time in history, Trey, where $1,000 to $2,000 gets you a camera that no longer limits you. To my shooters, man, shake off the dazing of cameras and get to shooting. And he's so spot on with that. You guys out there, you probably know it. You're in the same boat. You're rocking cameras that are $1,000, $2,000, and you're probably getting fantastic images. And I love his words of encouragement of stick to what you have, maybe upgrade a little bit here and there, but really what's going to make a difference in your production is just you. But you guys, look, whatever camera system it is, shoot, 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 keep editing. You'll get better. Shit. Before you know it, you'll start making some serious cash. All right, I'm out. That was long. 14 minutes. Sorry about it.